Hey everybody, welcome back. Again, like I said before, is that Barry and I are not doctors. Okay, we're not here to give medical advice. We're not. We're. I mean, at my recommend. What I would tell you is consult your doctor for if you're starting a fitness routine, if you're actually doing any dietary or food stuff. This is all for entertainment only. So I just want to put that out real quick. Quick disclaimer. Basically, when in doubt, consult your doctor. That's basically it. This is a consultation basically between me and Barry. You're a fly on the wall basically. We are all flies on the wall. We're just watching, looking in, and opening the door to James's bedroom or whatever so that you can see what's going on between the consultation for it. If you want to watch, and basically it's not even advice. It's basically what Barry is showing me, and you're able to open the psychiatrist's door and not watch holistic chef Barry consult with James Knight. So that's where we're taking this. So Barry, I have a question, okay? And basically, my weight has slowed down big time, weight loss. I'm losing maybe a point 0.4 or half a pound in the last 2 days. What I've been eating was basically I'm doing the green. I started the greens back up where I'm juicing with greens, but I'm eating like maybe 3/4 of a cup. I know everybody's body is different. Like my wife, she'll lose weight on that, maybe a pound to 2 pounds because of the simulation. It's a lot better, faster for her. Plus, I'm eating, certain like the chickens, the fish. Other than that, really. And then I'm eating later at night also. I don't know if that's a key. Like I'm eating maybe 8 or 9 o'clock also.
Okay, I know that there's some questions I have in my mind for you, James, that should be out in the open so that you and I know where we stand as far as your journey to losing your weight, because the more that I know you intimately about your lifestyle, then the more I can help you with what you want to achieve. This is very important. So it's really about you, not so much about me, but about you, James Knight, about your journey that you're on right now to lose this weight. So I'm going to ask you some questions uh, that all, not just myself should know, but the whole world should know, so that they can help themselves. So this is important. Okay.
Totally. All
So
right, I'm ready.
let's get started. My question to you is, what is your food cravings currently? What in your mind is your food cravings?
Well, my food cravings have actually changed since I am on the diet. For example, now I'm craving for a lot more papaya, craving more of the bananas, more of the sweeter vegetables, not as much as the melons that are more laid back, or even the apples. It's more the sweetness. That is my
O-
craving. Everything else is straight line.
Okay, now the cravings, and we're all different, of course, but people who crave sweet foods, usually that indicates something going on with their bacteria in their body. I'm talking about candida. Okay, a lot of us have candida, and it's actually normal to have. It's even on our skin. But when it's out of balance, the candida is there to feed on all the sugars. Okay, and this creates a problem, and this predisposes people to obesity. And I had the same problem. I had a sugar craving when I was large, and it took a while for me to figure that out. So that means what you need to do is replace the sweet sugar craving with a different craving for your palate, and that would be sourness. All sour foods will help your digestion and will help rebuild your digestive tract to be normal, and then you will have a balanced homeostasis. So it's the sour foods, like the culture foods, the sour fruits, that will replace the sweet foods, and then you will be more in balance, and then you will have a better chance of losing more weight. That's how it works.
And an example of sour fruits would be that you
The
suggest.
top, I would say at the top of the list would be lemons and limes in that order. I
Grapefruits.
Grapefruits, excellent. The oranges are more sweet, so that would be at the bottom of the citrus group. So I would go for, like I said, the lemons, the limes, the grapefruit, anything that's tart, anything that's sour is digestive health for losing weight. And this will help clean everything out, including the candida. Now, what's interesting is from the grapefruit itself, scientists have discovered that the grapefruit seed extract will destroy candida. And I used the grape seed fruit extract myself to destroy the candida that I had. And everybody has different symptoms for candida. For example, it can be an oral white thrush on your tongue. You could have itchiness in certain parts of your body. You could be having night sweats. Everybody's going to be different with different
Or you
symptoms.
smell like bread at one time.
Well, bread will give you
yeast. You always smell like yeast because I guess it's coming out of your pores.
Exactly. Now, bread turns to sugar inside the body, and bakery will do that. So that is a big culprit of food that you should avoid if you want to lose weight. So cut out all bakery, all bread, because that will contribute to the problem.
Now, there's something about steel oats. We talked about that before. It's somewhat like an oatmeal, but it's on. But I think you said, what would you say?
I would reduce the grains, especially the gluten grains. Okay, just reduce them and replace them with more leafy greens and more root vegetables and more heavy vegetables, crucifix vegetables. That would be better, much better for you.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Now, animal protein regards to.
Okay, now I've been talking to people close to me that know about weight loss, and my brother, for instance, Dan, saw my transition, and I consulted with my brother, and he's 2 years younger than me, and he's very fit, very strong. He's an athlete, and it's good to talk to him. He was suggesting, based on my journey when I lost so much weight, over 100 pounds, to go as much as you can raw vegan. That's right. There's reasons for that, and the main reason is raw vegan has a much faster transit time through the body. So it goes through the body much quicker than, let's say, animal flesh, which is the slowest of all foods, from your mouth to your anus. It'll stay longer in your body. Excuse me.
No worries.
Okay. That was my brother there.
That's cool. So let me ask you a quick question. So basically, when animal protein sits in your stomach, and I guess it can sit in your stomach for as long as 24 hours, possibly.
My brother should know better.
No worries.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I guess that now we have animal proteins, or not animal, but raw food. What is the difference of raw food getting out of your body and animal getting out of your body?
Okay, the human intestinal tract is 36 feet long. Okay, and the dog's intestinal tract is 6 feet long. So the dog can handle the meat far better than humans.
Oh, so that's why dogs and animals should eat meat, while humans should limit their meat because it moves out of the animal faster than a human. So we should maybe put our diet more of a raw, or more raw foods.
Yeah, for weight loss, raw is the way to go. And once you lose the weight, you can include the animal at a later stage, because basically our ancestors have been consuming animal for centuries. So I'm not saying eliminate it totally for the rest of your life. I'm saying we're losing the weight, take away the animal, and then bring it back a little bit when you've lost your weight, and then you maintain your balanced weight after that. That's usually how it works.
Now,
usually.
tofu that I see in the store, sometimes it says organic. Good or bad? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Tofu, thumbs down.
Thumbs down, really?
All to, all that's my tropical birds. All soy that's not fermented, thumbs down.
Really? So,
Because
for example, the soy sauce that we see in Asian Chinese restaurants, like on the table, yes or no?
no, I would say the soy that's really healthy for you is fermented soy. It has to be fermented like natto, like temp, like miso. Uh, Studies have shown that what it does, it works with your friendly intestinal flora much better. That's why I endorse, and a lot of holistic naturopath doctors do the same. They endorse fermented foods, and soy, when it's fermented, will help your intestinal tract keep it in balance with the friendly flora, all in balance, and it's more nutrient dense than the soy that's not fermented. Now, the problem is with the soy that's not fermented, it's hard to digest. It's difficult to digest, and it's so bad that large dogs, from a holistic veterinarian I was reading her information, some large dogs, when they ingest the soy that's unfermented, they can rupture their intestinal tract and die and have a terrible death. This is what I'm reading. This is what I understand. So if it's doing that to the dogs, what is it doing to us? What's it to us? That's it.
Understood. We were talking about making our own protein powder, and that really intrigued me.
Yeah, it's something that I've been doing for a long time now, and it makes a lot of sense because it's empowering you to control what kind of proteins you want to put into your body, and as simple as going to the store, picking out the seeds that you like, and then you bring them home, and then you can make them equal in size or whatever you prefer, and then you can mill them down into a powder as less or as much as you want, and then put them in a glass jar and store them in your refrigerator. And that way you save a ton of money, a ton of time, and you're in control of your health that way, much better than buying online and then paying all the middlemen
I
and
love
everything.
that. I love that because the whole thing is at least you know what they're putting. Like, for example, a lot of times when I buy my protein powders and I lift weight, and I mean, I do CrossFit, where that I lift like 400, 500-pound truck tires off, and that's Skype, everybody, and his his brother Dan, which is a really fit guy. But anyway, but I lift the big truck tires. But the thing is that I want to make sure that I maintain my muscle as much as possible without and removing the fat. But I like it because there's no fillers or stuff that I don't want. I don't want all the extra sugars, if you see what I'm saying. So if I make my own, I know what I'm getting.
Exactly, exactly. The problem that I have with commercial protein is simple, because when I read all the labels, and I have read a lot of labels, and I go down the list, they have soy that's not fermented. Okay, that's genetically modified. 90% of the soy around the world is GMO. So there's a good chance that you have GMO in that commercial weightlifting product. What can I tell
you? You do, because it's a cheaper form, so they're going to take the cheaper form first instead of giving you the organic stuff, which I totally understand now.
And I'm finding out that absorbic acid that's used a lot in the supplement industry is also genetically modified, a GMO. I'm finding that out now.
How does that stop you from losing weight, GMOs?
Okay, the problem with this is anything that's denatured, anything that doesn't come from nature and has chemicals. See, GMO, genetically modified food, has Roundup Ready, which is a very toxic chemical. And all the plants are systemic.
Roundup, is that the stuff that they spray on plants that kill off the insects?
It kills the weeds. It's a herbicide. Okay.
Wow.
it's a weed killer. It's very toxic, and it's being absorbed through the root systems of all the corn, of all the soybeans, and it actually becomes part of the plant. You can't wash it off. You can't do nothing with it. So when they take this food and then they put it into a protein powder, you are consuming the Roundup. You're consuming.
So I might as well just drink a big bottle of Roundup, glug, 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 and just.
You might as well. Okay, so GMO is bad news. It really is bad news. And the thing is, James, all the toxins, all the chemicals, by nature, are stored in the fat cells of the body.
That is amazing, really. I mean, that's crazy. So strike off GMO products if I see that. I'm going to limit my animal proteins to more broccoli, but eat less animal proteins such as chicken, fish. But especially on my weight loss journey, I'm going to try to eliminate that as much as possible and stay more of a raw vegan diet. Is that the best way?
That is absolutely the best way. Now, this is a therapy diet for losing your weight. It's not like for the rest of your life. I'm not saying that.
It's a transition.
Okay? It's a transition to get to the point to where you want to be. And I'm saying you don't have to cut out all the meats. Just treat them as small condiments, like a deck of cards. You know,
Gotcha.
you don't have to do that. But just focus on the vegetable kingdom at the very top of your list. So if I was looking at a pyramid, the vegetable kingdom would take up a big chunk of that pyramid at the bottom.
Nice. So what's the next tool should I be using? I see there's colanders and other things there and blenders.
Right. So basically, when we talked about picking and buying your own selected seeds and nuts and working with that, you bring it back from the store and you take a blender like this. Just show that's the blender. And a lot of good blenders will come with an attachment milling cup like this. And what you do is you put your seed in this milling cup, and it has a blade that rotates around. And then you put the top on like that. Turn on the machine, and in less than a second, you have your protein powder. Now, it's homemade protein powder. You can put your hemp seed, your chia seed, your flax seed, your sesame seed, all in this cup, and voila, ready-made protein powder that you can enjoy, and then when you're out, you make more, and it's fresh all the time. We don't know how old it is. We don't know how unfresh or fresh when we buy it from a retailer on the internet. We don't know how long it's been sitting on the shelf. Only they know that, but we don't know that. This way, you're getting the whole seed fresher, and you make it yourself into a powder. When the seed is milled down, it doesn't last as long. You see, it lasts much longer as a seed. When you mill it down, then the life of the seed becomes much less.
So you want to consume it somewhat readily. Now with seeds, you mentioned before that you leave a lot of seeds inside water the night before. Do we do that with these seeds, or?
Well, you can put this powdered seed in your smoothie, and then right away you drink it down, and you get all the beneficial nutrition like that.
What kind of seeds should I be using for, like I said before, I just want to get more of the rip look, keep my muscle. What seeds are the highest in protein, or what I should be using for my?
I would say chia seed.
Chia seeds, okay.
Chia seed. It's an ancient seed that was used a lot by the Aztecs in Mexico. It was a very prized seed back then. And I would say flaxseed is very important as well.
Should I mill those down, or should I just?
I do both. I would either mill them down, or I would put the whole seeds intact in water and pre-digest them, and then let them release their natural oils into the water, and then consume it that way as a topping on your foods. Then you can go a step further and let them sprout into foods. And I have a sample of what they look like right here. This is actually sesame seed that sprouted into living foods, living
Wow.
greens. This is maximum nutrition for weightlifting, bodybuilders. This has everything, all the amino acids, all the protein in this right here.
How did you make that from taking the sesame seeds? How did we actually construct that to make that look like that? Can you tell me the steps?
Yeah, okay. So keep in mind that seeds have different growth and germination rates. Wheatgrass is very fast and can be done in 7 days. This can be done somewhere maybe in 4 days. Okay? How it works is once the seed is germinated, then you take a pot of soil, like in a container, and you layer the seed over top. It's still wet, and then you put wet newspaper on top. And it has to be in a warm, like a normal environment, room temperature. So you keep the seeds wet in darkness. When the seed is exposed to darkness and light and has some air, it thinks it's in the ground. You're tricking it to think it's actually in the ground, and it starts sprouting.
Do I put any dirt with the seed, or do I just put?
It's laying on dirt in the container pot. There's a layer of
so
dirt.
it just lays. You don't push like into the dirt. You just lay on the dirt.
Lay it on top, and you can sprinkle a little bit of peat moss on top if you want, a little bit, and then put the wet newspaper on top so that the seeds don't dry out. And then in the morning, it's so great. I love it. I never get tired of it. The newspaper starts rising up because the sprouts are pushing the newspaper up like a weightlifter. You know what I mean?
I see that. So the dirt, can you just use peat moss?
You can mix peat moss with fertile garden soil together, and you can do something like that. And a good way is to go to your nursery store that works with organic foods, and then they can help you with what soil is best with what seeds. So you can learn a lot from them.
That's you know what, I know a lot of people, they're watching this, would love. So basically we take a tray.
Right.
And then they put about that much dirt and then some peat moss on there.
Right.
We just sprinkle our wheatgrass seeds on top.
That's right.
And then put wet newspaper on top of it. And the next day, hopefully, or a couple of days, it's going to start pushing the newspaper up. Now, basically after that, we need to get a wheatgrass juicer. What kind of wheatgrass juicer do you recommend?
Okay, I like the hand cranks. You know, just a simple hand crank, and you get some exercise and you get your juice. You kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Folks, now what Barry just told you is something basically, he just took my weight loss to the next level. Why? First of all, a lot of machines out there, such as juicers, are going to cost you $400, $600, $700, even over $1,000. I was looking into it myself on Amazon, and the hand crank, you can find it for $68, $78, probably even cheaper, probably even a used one. And so now you have basically how to grow your own wheatgrass almost for, I would say, maybe pennies a shot. What would you say, or nothing?
Well, if I was to buy a whole tray of wheatgrass in Phuket, Thailand, where I live, it would be about $9 for a whole tray, like big.
Now, folks, let me go a little bit further and tell you what, like, for example, Thailand is going to be a little bit less. Now, for us, when we buy 1 ounce of wheatgrass is $2.50 or $3 when you get it at Whole Foods.
Okay. when I there's a lot of wheatgrass cafes now in Phuket. It's becoming a wheatgrass haven for Southeast Asia. It's great, and they're all around my home. So if the basic price for a shot of wheatgrass in Phuket would be 100 baht or 90 baht, and that's about $3.
See, there you go. And what do you think would be the just guesstimate of when you grow your own wheatgrass and with your own thing? How much? What would you think per the seed level? What would it cost? A penny or 2 pennies or 10 cents? What would you say?
It would be a few cents on the shot. Always the seed is far cheaper than the end result. It takes 7 days to grow the wheatgrass, and then you have to get the tray and you have to get the soil and blah blah blah, and it all adds up. So you're saving a ton of money just by growing it yourself.
That's
The only the only expense you have is the actual seed, and then the tray, one-time cost, the tray, and then you recycle the soil, you compost the soil, and it's always there. So it's basically the seed, the tray, the water, and your time.
exactly. But we're going to go more into like what wheatgrass does and how fast you can lose weight, hopefully, into another show. So we'll get into it because when we start talking about wheatgrass, it's going to floor your mind of what the benefits that they're saying by the experts what wheatgrass will do for you. So what is the next tool, Barry?
Well, I would say that we talked about the seed mill. Now we're going to talk about the actual blender. The
All right.
blender itself is your friend, your best friend for weight loss. Absolutely. I cannot live without my blender. Even after I lost my 100 pounds, I still live with my blender every day, and I never stop blending. I blend every day of my life. And by doing that, that stops the weight from coming back.
Amazing, amazing. And of course, we're going to have on when everybody after we get done with this video or this live video, because everything's live right now, is we're going to give links to Barry's recipe on Flickr, where you get all tons of recipes to make your own smoothies, make your own food. We're going to give it. We're also going to give a link. Just watch for it. A link up on top for the page that we're giving. Barry's going to put more stuff in there, and also the private group, which everybody gets access to it. I mean, this is just what we're doing out there. So, what is the next tool, Barry?
I would say that's getting more advanced. I would say sprouting. And sprouting is this. You're taking your seed and you're making living foods. Anne Wigmore, the wheatgrass lady, she passed away a few years ago. She was my mentor. I learned so much from her to take the seed and to sprout it, germinate it, and grow it as microgreens. And I have her book right here. So,
Anne Wigmore. Okay, everybody, I'm just going to let you know so everybody can look to get this book if they want. It's Anne Wigmore, Wigmores, or
yeah, it's ANN, Anne, and Wigmore, Wigmores.
okay.
This is her picture on the back.
Nice. And then one of these shows will show how Barry starts a wheatgrass tray somewhat, and how he actually does the sprouting. So everybody, you have what we're bringing to everybody, including me, on this consultation is going to be enormous, really. So is there any more tools that we should have in our?
Yeah. When you get to the microgreen stage, that means you empower yourself, and you don't have to go to the store and then believe all the labels that you're looking at. You actually know what you're putting in your body because you're growing your own food. And the microgreens only take days, whereas the adult greens take months or weeks. So this way, you're going really quick with your food into your body, very fresh, very green, very alive, and it's more nutrient dense. Broccoli has more nutrient dense nutrition than an adult broccoli, and that's a fact of life. and you're oxygenating your body. All these microgreens are collecting energy from the sun, absorbing the sun, and you're getting the chlorophyll and the oxygen all in one go into your body. And the blood, that's the purpose of the blood, is to delivering oxygen to all your organs, all your filtering organs, to make everything work better.
Nice. So let me actually recap for everybody what we talked about, so that a lot of you, I want you to basically start taking notes when we do these shows, and I'm taking notes, is that, first of all, pretty much in the beginning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start getting more lemons, limes, and grapefruits in my diet. I'm going to reduce my grains. I'm going to start going towards the raw vegan style. I'm going to start using natto, which is a fermented. You can look that up. We'll talk about that in another show. My protein powders I'm going to start making. I'm going to start making that with the chia seeds and the hemp seeds and some flax seeds. So we're going to talk about that in another show and show Barry, Holistic Chef Barry, making a protein drink. Also, what we want to do is we're going to replace the animal proteins with more broccoli because it's more condensed. And that's really what we're going to do. And we're going to try to start making our own wheatgrass. And we're going to show on a later video show, hopefully, that Holistic Chef Barry will show us this, is how to demonstrate. Because a lot of times is what I notice myself, is that seeing is better when you're demonstrating something. We can tell you how to do something. We can write how to do something. But when I am showed personally how to do it on video of Barry actually taking a tray, doing all basically the dirt, the seeds, the newspaper wet, it basically sticks in my brain better. So Barry, Holistic Chef Barry, what do we have looking forward to the next show?
Okay, I'd like to get back to the mindset again, because a lot of people, they give up on their journey because for whatever reason. I think that's very important. We didn't have a chance to address it this time, but the next consultation we will. And then food combining. Food combining is very important because you can have the right foods, but if you combine them wrong, then you're throwing monkey wrenches in your diet, and you're not going to digest the food properly anyways, and then you can't lose the weight. So I'd like to talk about food combining as well.
Definitely. So next show, Holistic Chef Barry is going to go into food combining. He's going to give you the proper mindset. Basically, he's going to explain to you why you have to have the why, and he's going to go into a lot deeper, really, so that a lot of us, what we do is we buy a gym membership in the beginning, and next 2-3 months the gym membership is sitting there, and we cancel the gym, or we cancel. And what's even harder is this is more the 90. For me, it's the 80-20 rule, really. If I keep my diet clean, everything else goes really well for me, like keeping holistic. And it's not just diet; it's a lifestyle, and that's what it is. Don't think of it as diet; it's a lifestyle. And it's something going to take you to the next level. And myself, and why we're doing these shows is so that you can see the change in my face, my body type throughout the weeks, maybe months, and even longer. Plus, you're going to see changes in Barry because he has something new that he's going to be doing himself. But we'll talk about that later, which is going to be the shock and awe for everything. So thanks a lot, Holistic Chef Barry, and we'll see everybody on the next consultation. Remember, like I said before, we are not doctors. We are just this is just basically a consultation between me and Barry. And if you consult your doctor for medical, weight loss, exercise, everything. This is basically just for entertainment value. Do whatever you want to do. All right, see everybody on the next consultation. Bye-bye.
Pleasure, James Knight.
Bye-bye.